I'm telling you right now that issues are coming up that are so egregious to God that judgment is absolutely en route if there's not some form of repentance or change. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I'm promising you. The bottom line that we're going to discuss when we come back, the bottom line, this killing of children in the womb is going to destroy our country. This ability in the minds of men and women to rationalize murder is phenomenally disgusting. I mean, we pay people not to grow food where we could probably feed the world. That has some judgment connected to it, I'm sure. But the fact that we are killing children, murdering children, is much more intense. Because we are killing the very ones that Jesus determined as their angels being before the face of God. He was kids' greatest defenders. And we're killing them and not caring. You're listening to the David Spoon Experience right here on KAAM 770, the Christian station here in Texas. We're going to take a short break, then we're going to come back. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the David Spoon Experience. Thank you for joining us here at KAAM 770, the Christian station here in Texas. So you want to send us an email, davidspoonmedia@gmail.com. Website, davidspoonmedia.com. Facebook, David Spoon Media. YouTube, David Spoon Media. On the website, davidspoonmedia.com, there is a little more of a writing that has to do with abortion. And I want to talk about abortion because I'm just so sick of the baloney and the malarkey. I'm not even going to take it. So first and foremost, people are going, what's the difference between the death penalty and abortion, Dave? Come on, Dave, what's the difference? Well, brilliant one, the difference is that abortion murders innocent children, and the death penalty is about people who are guilty, who have lived and committed offenses that deserve punishment. So if you can't figure out the difference between abortion and death penalty, you should sit down and go right back to, what was that movie? It was a movie with Adam Sandler about going back to school and just go through the whole school process again. Because the bottom line is that abortion is murder of innocent children, and the death penalty has to do with a penalty for people committing actions. If you haven't figured out the differential between them, you should. And oh, by the way, in Matthew chapter 21 and chapter 22, Jesus tells stories about death penalties without saying the death penalties are wrong. What? That's called reading. We'll talk about that perhaps later in the week. But let's talk about some of the ridiculous stats that come out that people say because it makes people feel better. Religion has killed more people than... No, it hasn't. It's just an absolute bald-faced lie. Religion has not even accounted for 4 million total deaths. The world wars by themselves accounted for 115 million deaths. The Crusades ran 500,000 deaths over 800 years, and the Inquisition was under 10,000 deaths. Communism, not religion, but anti-religion, takes it to about 1,200,000 people that have died from communism advancement closely associated with socialism. However, that still is not much because abortion accounts for 1,600,000 babies since 1925. Incredible. 1,600,000 babies since 1925. Because somebody hears it on the radio or TV or reads it on the net, or for that matter, hears a liberal college professor say it, that doesn't make it true either. So the job for you is to do independent research and get all the facts, not just the ones that support positions. So I'll tell you what. I'll say nothing about that You go verify the facts, but you have to use all sources. When you do that and you do an actual research paper, let me know. And we can have a wonderful discussion on this radio show. I would love to do that because it'll just nail down what the truth is and what the truth isn't. Well, what is the truth? The truth is that women right now and men right now are losing their minds defending abortion. And you're thinking, well, how is that possible? Well, first of all, somebody in Hollywood who I've never heard of is calling for and I think you've heard about this, a sex strike. And their sex strike is simply don't have sex unless you're absolutely committed to having a child and raising a baby. That's so far left, it's right, because that's right. Don't have sex unless you're committed to having a baby and raising that child. I agree. Who would disagree with that? I think it's brilliant. The person's so far left, they've become right. Oh, it's amazing. By the way, I didn't come up with that line. That was on Greg Gutfeld. I'm just telling you. Here's the bottom line. There is a mindset that says there is the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. This comes from the preamble to the Declaration of Independence, not the preamble to the Constitution, the preamble to the Declaration of Independence, which was signed on July 4th. Well, it was initiated July 4th, 1776. It actually wasn't completely signed until August 2nd. In the preamble of the Declaration of Independence, which separated this nation from England, we were making a declaration we were going to be free, and it says that we have been given inalienable rights given by a creator. A what? A creator, large C. Oh, no, Dave, that doesn't make any reference to God. A creator, large C. Large C. Get it? And those rights are to pursue life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. It's actually an American right to pursue being happy. It doesn't say the provision of happiness. It says the pursuit of happiness. Just for the historical buffs, want to know a little more, 11 years later, 1787, that's when the Constitution was ratified. 2 years after that, the Bill of Rights, which are the first 10 amendments to the Constitution, and they were ratified in 1789. That's just for people that like that. All right, so here's a really tough question. Who gets to decide what happiness is? For one, the actions of one might make them very disturbed. The government is using this clause to defend a healthcare system that provides murdering babies. But what if this healthcare system makes millions of people unhappy? See? What about the millions of people who are completely unhappy with healthcare systems that pay for abortions? It's like, wait, what? What? Other radicals, secular progressives, atheists are trying to use this clause to defend abortion. So we've got about 55 million abortions in the last 40 years, which is not good. So what if we wiped out the person that could have solved, what if we wiped out a person in those 55 million abortions that could have solved several problems for our society? What if God gave a gift in humanity and humanity killed the gift before that gift had a chance to blossom? Abortion is taking a life, but there is absolute forgiveness in God for that or any other sin. There's no actual Bible exceptions for abortion. For rape, technically, the penalty in the Old Testament was an undissolvable marriage. Nobody's going to rape somebody if they have to stay married, they can't get divorced. It's like, I'm not raping that person. That's no way. The health of the mom, that becomes an issue of selfishness and selflessness. Apparently, not that many people have seen the stories that we've written in Star Trek and all these other things where the people who are alive give birth at the last minute and then they die because they want their child to live. That's called selflessness. But I don't even care about that. That's all so limited. It's that abortion in our country is simply for convenience. Don't tell me, it's because they can't afford it. It's because they were raped. It's because of incest. Rape, incest, and the health of the mother account for 2.8%. Or let's just say 3%. Forget it. Let's say 4%. I'll double it. Let's give it 5%. Out of 100 babies aborted, 5 have cause. 95 are for convenience. That's not right. That's wrong. That baby, I love what Ronald Reagan did because at least he did it right. He said the baby has rights according to the Constitution. Then they started just using the word fetus in order to make people feel less guilty, right? We are, by the way, the only species in the world that does not start life at conception. Do you know what the word conception means? It means to conceive. It's like, that's what it means. That's what it means. If a plant has some form of conception and growth and germination, we call it alive. If animals do it, they're alive. Every single species is alive at conception, except man. What? What? We're the only species that doesn't start at conception. Why? Convenience, money, and eugenics. If you've never seen the movie Expelled with Ben Stein, go get it. Margaret Sanger, she was not. Thank God for Margaret? No way. Obama goes, thank God for Margaret Sanger. Yeah, she's the most demonic woman that's lived in the last 100 years. She's a race cleaner, closely associated with, who else? Adolf Hitler, who tried to clean the races. This stuff drives me crazy because people just complete denial. And if you want to really know how the land feels about abortion, when a woman who's pregnant is murdered, you know what they do? They charge a double homicide. But when it comes to a woman's rights to get an abortion because she doesn't feel like doing that right now, maybe she should have felt like not doing something else. Calm me down, T. Dave, you're losing it. Now, just because one of my eyeballs popped out of my head doesn't mean I'm losing it. But I really want to get this nailed down correctly because it bothers me a lot. Not a little, a lot. That the idea that a child in the womb is nothing but some kind of attached disease when it has a heartbeat. That women have gotten to the point, not all women, but women have gotten to the point where it is nothing but a burden, and men have gotten to the point where they bear no responsibility. And between the men and the women who do this, they are all disgusting human beings. Period. You cannot even compare the level of disgust these people have attained when you are murdering a child in the womb. At 8 weeks, I mean, somebody can correct, but I know it's got even more than this. I mean, at 8 weeks, it's got the heartbeat, it's got the full DNA, it's got fingers, it's got toes, it's got everything that it's a child would be. That's just at 8 weeks. Even though we should not be doing any of this, I'm just saying. And they want to be able to have abortion available at 9 months. Are you kidding? I'm going to say this, and I rarely say this. This is one area where the majority of the Republicans do better than the Democrats. It is disgusting, and any Democrat that supports abortion in the 9th month should be literally removed from office and put on a boat and sent somewhere, anywhere but America. Because the judgment that's impending against our nation is phenomenal, and it's going to be a serious problem. We are murdering children. 6 months, 7 months, 8 months. Oh, it's just a burden for me. Let's deal with some of that burden for you. Well, it's my body and it's my right. And I want to be really careful here. I think men who participate in this are dogs. I think they're pigs. And I think they deserve to be called such. You're like, you can't call people names. Jesus called the Pharisees and the teachers of the law 14 times in Matthew 23. He called them names, plus implied 6 times other names. There's 20 verses where he implies or says 20 times he calls them names. He calls them, white tombs. He calls them sepulchres. He calls them brood of vipers. He calls them snakes. He calls them hypocrites. All in one 20-verse span. Let me tell you something. A guy that impregnates a woman and then bails and doesn't commit is a pig. A guy that does that and impregnates a woman is a dog. A woman who's willing to be taken advantage of sexually like that and then is just willing to get rid of the child is a pig. And a woman who does that and just aborts a child is a dog. Jesus said it very clearly. Cast not your pearls before swine. Here you go. What's a swine? There you go. That's not very compassionate. Jesus is the one who said that. Jesus didn't go like this. Cast not your pearls before swine. That's not how that went. When Jesus was frustrated with the generation, he didn't go, oh, silly generation. You guys are so silly. I'm so frustrated with you. Nah. That's not how that went. Jesus was like, you guys are driving me nuts. That's how that went. And then we have people are saying this, it's my body, it's my right. Have you heard that expression yet? It's my body, it's my right. You can't tell me what to do. I'm in charge of my body. Tell it to cancer when it attacks you that you're in charge of it. I find that amazing. Let me make sure you understand what Scripture has to say about it's my body, it's my right. Romans 6:12-13. Therefore, do not let sin control your mortal body so you obey its desires. Do not present the parts of your body to sin as instruments of wickedness, but present yourself to God as those who have been brought from death to life, and present the parts of your body to Him as instruments of righteousness. Oh, wait, we're not done. 1 Corinthians 6:18-19. Run from sexual sin. No other sin clearly affects the body as this one does. Sexual immorality is a sin against your own body. Don't you realize that your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit who lives in you and was given to you by God? You do not belong to yourself. God bought you with a high price. So you must honor God with your body. Oh, it's your body, your right? Well, that's in complete defiance with God, just like Adam and Eve did. Your body is the property of God first. You are a child of the Most High God. You are God's creation first and foremost, and you're killing His creation in your womb when you get an abortion. And you're thinking, well, you're not talking about that law, are you, in what is it, Alabama? I'm not, actually. And I'm not talking about the exception. I'm talking about women that get an abortion for convenience. I'm not talking about anything else. I'm talking about men that encourage women to get an abortion for convenience. It's all disgusting. 1 John 3:15, everyone who hates his brother is a murderer, and you know that eternal life does not reside in a murderer. You're thinking, but Dave, are there passages that say that the child in the womb is alive and God's involved? Great question. Isaiah 44:2, this is what the Lord says, He who made you, who formed you in the womb, and who will help you, do not be afraid. Isaiah 44:24, this is what the Lord says, your Redeemer, who formed you in the womb. Jeremiah 1:4-5, the word of the Lord came to me saying, before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. Jeremiah 20:15-17. Cursed be the man who brought my father the news, who made him very glad, saying, a child is born to you. May that man be like the towns the Lord overthrew without pity, for he did not kill me in the womb. Anytime a baby exited the womb via force, it was a killing. Period. I'm not talking about miscarriages. I'm not talking about rape. I'm not talking about incest. I'm not talking about health of the mother. I'm talking about, well, I really wanted to go to the Bahamas. That's what I'm talking about. You can make up all the garbage you want to. You're killing them. You're killing kids. Notice I haven't even used Psalm 139 yet. I know you guys know that. I haven't even used it. I don't even have to get there yet. People say, oh, it's my body, it's my right. Your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit. And oh, by the way, if your friends are like the people that disagree, well, I disagree. It's my body, it's my right. If you never tell them the truth, how will they ever get a chance to be saved and know the difference and know the truth if you never tell them? You need to tell them, dude, you're killing a baby. It's my right, it's my body. It's my right, my body to be a murderer. I got two really good and disgusting pieces of advice. I'm going to get in trouble for both of these. Oh, well. Does it matter at this point? I don't think so. Number one, to the men, zip up your pants. What are you? Are you a dog? And number two, to the ladies, cross your legs. You're not an animal. You're not a rabbit. If you don't have enough self-control to restrain and to have modification, you're so bent on pleasure, go drink. Stop having sex. Give me a break. Stop murdering people. It's awful. I'm so what if somebody was murdered who was there for an answer? And God's like, well, I provided you an answer. You think, well, that would never happen. Did you not read 50 times in the scripture where the people kill the prophets and the spokespeople for God, that they kill them? They kill the answer. People do it all the time. The answer from God comes, we kill him. Wow. Why am I so passionate about this? Because this is not the same thing. This issue is not the same as all the other issues combined. To me. I understand not to me. Right? It's extreme passion to me. I mean, this is something I could write, I could teach on all day long, because I have people in my own family who not only have had abortions, approve of other people having abortions, reject the gospel of Jesus Christ, and everything from Scripture says that individual family member is going to hell. Guess what? Too bad. That's their choice to reject. You think, well, that's not very kind. You should pray for them. Every single day, not one failed day, I have prayed for that person for 40 years. But if that person rejects Jesus Christ and keeps murdering babies, well, then they're going where they ought to go. I can't change that. I can pray that God changes it, but I can't change it. So here's the bottom line. Because you know we're at the wind up. The bottom line is simply this. That child in the womb is a gift from God. And to murder that child is to reject the gift of God, the giver of life. Now, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. If you're a person that's gone through that, I am not passionately pleading for you to feel guilty. I do not want you to feel guilty. There is absolute redemption and forgiveness of Jesus Christ. But if you're defiant and you're sticking your fist up in the face of God, you deserve what you're going to get if you don't repent. I don't have to feel sorry about that. And it's disgusting what the Democrats have promoted here. Killing a child up until that point. Oh, 9 months old. Here's the deal. The deal is really simple. Margaret Sanger, years and years ago, the demonically inspired Margaret Sanger, closely connected to Adolf Hitler's philosophy. You're thinking, well, how can you say that? It's funny, in college I wrote a paper on Adolf Hitler and the Volk spirit. If you know anything about Germany, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. The idea was that their superiority gave them the position to be able to eliminate other races. And that's where Margaret Sanger came in. Oh, Planned Parenthood. Isn't it wonderful? No, they're murdering babies. They're trying to create the Aryan race. And then what happens is, if you're not trying to race cleanse, which is what Adolf really was trying to do, then you've got a business going on and you just want to keep it making money. And the way to do it is, it doesn't matter, because you know what we're going to do? We're going to call the baby a fetus. Doesn't that make you feel better about it? Oh, I didn't kill a baby. I killed a fetus. You killed a baby. You're a murderer. It's disgusting. And it's pathetic. And any person that supports abortion is not a true follower of Jesus Christ. No way. There's no way they support death of a baby. Just not right. Juan Williams on Fox 5, I think it's the 5, is like, well, no, women should have a right to choose. She should do whatever she wants with her own body. See, this is the whole point. This is the selfishness of society, to the point where she should do whatever she wants with her own body, including kill another human being. It's amazing. How does that work? And I do think that men get off scot-free and have almost no ramifications, and I think something should be done. I totally agree that there should be complete responsibility on both the man and the woman's part to raise a child when they have sex. Otherwise, let's do this. Let's not have them have sex. Oh, Dave, you can't have a society where 14, 15, and 16-year-olds don't have sex. Yes, you can. They did it for thousands of years. It's like, what, America's the only people that can't figure out how to do this? See, this is why discipline of children is important, okay? This is where it all has this breakdown. Well, I'm just going to show them the right example. That works really good. So when a person becomes a mass murderer, I guess it's from the example of their parents. All right. So anyhow, sometimes you just got to teach the truth and let the truth work its way into the life of a person. Now, I'm trying to be nice, just in case you think I'm being a meanie. I'm just telling you right now, or you're just a religious bigot. Well, that shows you what you know. I'm not religious at all. I have a relationship with God the Father through the redeeming work of Jesus Christ and help from the Holy Spirit. But outside of that, I can't stand religion. I'm just telling you. I don't like religion. Now, there's some really good things in it, but when it's a man-made thing, it's just horrible. And when it's all that, I don't like that stuff. But what I like is that I am a confident person in God's ability to create the universe and to write a book. So beings that I believe the book is accurate, I take things like this seriously. Psalm 139. Thank you. Verse 13, for you created my inmost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. You're just a fetus. I praise you because I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well. My frame was not hidden from you when I was made in the secret place. Ooh. When I was woven together in the depths of the earth, your eyes saw my unformed body. All the days ordained for me were written in your book before one of them came to be. How precious to me are your thoughts, God. How vast is the sum. This is the Lord knitting together in the womb. So what are you trying to say, Dave? That we're stopping the process that God wanted to accomplish when we do abortion? Yeah. Do you think that God wanted Adam and Eve to sin? He was ready, but didn't want it. He didn't want them to rebel. God doesn't want you to murder a child in the womb. That's not even the half of it. The real issue here is that we're going to drop this nation into a hole from which we cannot recover. You won't have to worry about legacies and grandchildren and great-grandchildren and all the like, because if we keep this up, at some point, God's going to drop his hammer, and that's going to be enough. We got to stop the madness. This is murder. And I understand that college kids go, and what do? They go and they see somebody who's got a little thing and showing pictures, and they go, it's so bad, and they rip away signs and so on and so forth. Do you think that's a problem? You got a problem where you have people who run the legislative branch of our government, and they're like, abortion anytime, anywhere, it's okay. 9 months, doesn't matter. You have a headache the day before the baby's supposed to be killed? Oh, let's just kill that little fetus because it's not really alive until it comes out. And then what's worse is you had a president years ago who's like, it's above my pay grade to decide what abortion, when it's living and when it's not. And then miraculously, in office, he decided it was no longer above his pay grade. It's in his pay grade, and he thinks, death to all babies if that's what the mom wants. It's like, what happened? I'll tell you what happened. The judgment is increasing because the iniquity is increasing, and it's going to come smashing down upon us. And it's just so absurd. And then you got these liberal people who are professors who haven't even had a kid telling people about parenting. Oh my gosh, it's a mind blower. It's a mind blower. Then you got people citing bits and pieces of the Bible. You know how much I love that. And just to make their cause, and then they skip out of the Bible and go into their own little universe of declared truth. Nothing more disgusting than that. I'm going to use Jesus for my political advantage. This is a deep issue. If you have friends who are against you, you need to seriously I don't think you should end friendship. I think you should just seriously pray about how to tell them the truth. The truth is we're killing kids in the womb. The truth is we're making it so that there's no responsibility for two people getting together. And it's like, whatever, I mean, if it feels good, do it. Do you say that to a mass murderer? If it feels good, do it. Doesn't he fall under that? It's like so absurd. Well, Dave, you can't legislate morality, right? You ever heard that line? That's a great line, right? All legislation activities that have to do with criminal behavior are morality. Every one of them. Do not murder. That's a morality issue. Do not steal. Morality. Do not bear false witness. Morality. Every single one of them. In the law, there's civil law, ceremonial law, and then there is law that has to do with the way that people understand righteousness and morality, a moral law. It's just like, you got to be kidding, man. We got to stop killing kids. We got to stop killing babies. You think, well, what will we do? I don't know. Maybe if we get enough kids and give enough kids the chance, we'll come up with ways to advance beyond the planet. I don't know. Personally, I think Jesus comes back before all that mess. But if somebody were in that situation, maybe somebody has a solution. Maybe we should give humanity the chance. I don't know. But killing them is not the answer. And trying to create the superior race is not the answer. And giving an equation or a value to a child in the womb for a $200 and some odd procedure that should be free to legal and illegal people, anybody in the legislature that thinks that way should be removed from their position. Not by force. They should just be removed. They should be pulled. They should be voted out. These are not leaders, people. These are disgusting, disgusting human beings. And you think, Dave, that's way over the top. I challenge you right now to read Matthew 23 and tell me where Jesus came down. I challenge you. You show me less than 14 times where he called the Pharisees, literally despicable people. Hypocrites, snakes, brood of vipers. That's Jesus. Well, that was not name calling. Okay, I give up. You're right, it's not name calling. It's name identifying. And I identify all those people as disgusting. There you go. We need to pray for our nation, man. We need to pray that we get a better handle on it. Parents need to do a better job of training their children, not letting their children get away with whatever they think we'll just get away with anything. No. You gotta teach your children. That next generation that follows, you gotta let them know you have responsibility and you have to take it. And just giving people a pass and letting them just murder kids in the womb because that's a woman's right. No, it's not a woman's right. It's not in the Constitution. It's not in the Bible, and it's horrible. And if you've done it and you're sorry for it, there's forgiveness and grace and mercy. And God will love on you so much you won't have to worry about. It'll be from your past. It'll have nothing to do with your present. But if you're a person and you're thinking, the answer to my solution is to eliminate the problem in my womb by killing it, I am telling you right now, you will suffer the consequences emotionally, mentally, and psychologically for your whole life. And if you don't, that just means you've so seared your conscience that it has no response to truth. You understand? We need to do better. America needs to do better. And our leaders need to do better than we've done. You've been listening to the David Spoon Experience right here on KAAM 770, the Christian station here in Texas. Going to take a 23-hour break. Come back. More insanity with Spoonanity. Talk to you tomorrow.